The Empress stood facing Elisia. By order of the Empress, answer. Did you kill Crichton? If I say yes, what will you do to me? The Empress's eyebrow twitched at Elisia's answer. An elegant smile appeared on her lips. To smile despite the death of her son. Elisia's eyes twitched at the Empress's reaction. She wasn't the only one affected, others felt disturbed as well. The Empress read the looks of the people around her and opened her mouth. It's embarrassing. I was going to execute Crichton before it came to this. The attendees hesitated at the Empress's answer. Elisia and Franz looked at each other in amazement. She wanted to kill her son. And even execution, wasn't this the most humiliating form of death for the royal family? There was something strange. A bad feeling. But at the same time, there was a strange feeling that she would be safe. What was this? Elisia calmed her racing heart and asked the Empress. May I ask why you were going to do that? Because the crime he committed by tampering with His Majesty the Emperor's Mana Stone cannot be atoned for even by death. An icy voice returned to Elisia's question. The Empress was finally angry. But this anger was not directed at Elisia. It was directed toward Crichton, who was already gone. Did His Highness the First Prince do such a thing? Oh my God! The people, including the guard commander, were surprised and hesitated at the Empress's words. The Empress calmed her expression between them. She soon returned to her usual composure and continued. Moreover, he sought an assassin, correct? This time to kill the second prince's wife. This was the moment when Crichton's evil deeds were exposed one by one. His true face was revealed. He was the one who had committed the crime of betraying his family and attempted to commit other offenses. Elisia lowered her eyes and said, I didn't even know you were aware of that. Nerys came and told me all the evil deeds that Elian, Glenna, and Crichton have planned together so far. The Empress murmured, placing her hand on her forehead. So foolish. Confessing will not mitigate her crimes. So. Nerys was expelled from the Roshanak family. She sullied the family name and participated in various crimes, so expulsion is not enough. So she was imprisoned. The Empress's voice as she spoke of her niece's fate remained unchanged from usual. She began speaking frightening words in a calm, gentle tone. Glenna and the Corney family must, of course, be punished severely. Since Glenna has already lost her mind, she can be imprisoned like Nerys. The Corney family will be destroyed. The Empress finished speaking and clicked her tongue. Who would have thought that the monopoly conspiracy began inside the palace? Did you not, Your Majesty the Empress, turn a blind eye to this? Me? Impossible. The Empress frowned at the bold question. She did not hide her astonishment and said, because Crichton is my son? Is that what you think, wife of the second prince? Blood is stronger than anything. Not for me. There is something more important to me. And what is it? The Empress opened and closed her fan. She spoke with a solemn expression. The Loran Empire. To me, the Empire is the most precious and important. If there is harm to the Empire, I will not even forgive the son I gave birth to. At the Empress's explanation, the strength of Franz's hand holding Elisia softened slightly. The Empress had ruled the Empire as regent for the past 2 years. Therefore, she had not interfered in the affairs of the royal family, large or small. But it seemed that did not mean she was indifferent to the royal family. Guard captain, carry out your orders. Yes, Your Majesty. When the guard commander received the order, the guards removed Crichton's body. The Empress gazed at his corpse with cold eyes. Elisia felt upset. I had thought Her Majesty the Empress was an emotional person. Glenna and Elian could be overlooked, but she did not cry or show emotion even at the sight of Crichton's body. Was the Empire that important? To the point of ignoring her son's death in this manner? Then let's finish discussing the criminals here, Franz, second princess. The Empress folded her fan and looked at Franz and Elisia. She opened her mouth and blinked meaningfully. Isn't there something we should discuss? A cold smile was directed at Elisia. She swallowed and nodded. Here and the first prince's palace are in chaos, so we should talk at the emperor's palace. What happened in the first prince's palace? Oh, didn't you know? The Empress blinked at Franz's question. She gently stroked her arm with the fan and spoke in a calm tone. Glenna lost control. Because Crichton died. Truly. Why aren't you speaking, second princess? You look like someone who knew this was going to happen. The Empress's gentle voice stabbed sharply. Elisia looked at her and closed her mouth in a straight line. Things were resolved very easily. Her remaining revenge was completed with a few words from the Empress. That was a good thing. There was no need for bloodshed or annoying arguments. But why did she feel so anxious? Elisia bit the inside of her cheek. Even though the revenge was nearly complete, she was not happy. Instead of feeling relieved, she felt incredibly distressed. If the Empress was on her side, she should have felt reassured, but instead she felt anxious. I didn't know, at all. Truly. The Empress's eyes narrowed. She looked at Elisia with her confused attire and Franz with visible signs of tears and said briefly, "You're both a mess. It wouldn't be appropriate to have a conversation like this, so come back after you're ready. I'll prepare some delicious desserts." The Empress smiled beautifully and spoke kindly. It was a calm expression, unlike a mother who had just faced the death of her son. Surely there was something strange. Elisia's eyes sparkled sharply. She quickly lowered her eyes to avoid meeting the Empress's gaze and said, "I will see you in a moment. I'll wait." The Empress glanced at Franz and Elisia alternately. Elisia did not raise her lowered eyes until the Empress left the reception room. Elisia quickly changed her clothes with Sarah and Isolde's help. She was still standing before the dressing table even after she had put on the necklace given by the Empress. Franz approached the window and said, "Your expression hasn't been good for a while. It seems something is worrying you. Don't you find Her Majesty the Empress a bit strange? Her son died, but she was less affected than by a stranger's death. I also found it strange. But we can't blame her for not expressing more sorrow, can we? Everyone expresses their feelings differently. That is not what I mean. Her Majesty the Empress did not feel sad at all. On the contrary. She was happy?" Elisia's eyes widened at the words that came from Franz's mouth. She nodded vigorously and said, "Exactly. She seemed happy." The Empress attempted to confirm Crichton's body despite the guard captain's forbid dance. That was fairly understandable. Of course, she wanted to confirm whether the cold corpse beneath the white cloth was her son. But from the moment it was confirmed, it seemed suspicious. The Empress smiled once she confirmed Crichton. Elisia remembered that smile. The Empress was always smiling softly. But that smile was different. She was satisfied. It was a fleeting smile, but it was frighteningly strange. So it stuck clearly in her mind. Elisia sat deep in thought, her arms crossed. It seemed she didn't even consider punishing whoever killed Crichton in the first place. From the moment she entered the reception room until she left, the Empress had been angry for only a moment. When Crichton's crimes were mentioned, the Empress had insisted all along that he deserved to die. She even said that she would have punished him herself if Elisia had not intervened. Did she say she ruled the empire as regent for 2 years, right? Right. I became a guardian immediately after His Majesty the Emperor was injured. Was she not as sad then as today? At that time. Franz's words trailed off as he answered Elisia's question. His face hardened as he tried to continue speaking. Oh, my God. What's wrong? I didn't notice at the time because I was confused, but when I think about it, there are many strange things. Franz grabbed the edge of the window and recalled his memories. As soon as His Majesty the Emperor was injured, the doctors rushed over, and they all said the cause was unknown. As if they were in agreement. When the Empress heard those words, her expression was similar to what we had just seen. Did you smile then too? But I thought at the time she was smiling with great sadness because we were all not feeling normal. Elisia remembered the Empress's face. The Empress was always smiling joyfully. So, even in Elisia's memories, she was smiling. Like a painting, like a person without feelings. Elisia rubbed her arm. A sudden shiver ran through her.